Hi everyone, welcome to my channel again. If you like my video, please don't forget to subscribe in the end to show your support. Today we are working with colored pencils. So what are the differences between colored pencils and the graphite and charcoal pencils? How do we blend colored pencils? How do we work with colored pencils? Today we're gonna learn that. What am I gonna be using? So I will be using Faber-Castell's 36 Polychromos oil-based. And also with the paper, I chose 300 series Bristol smooth paper. It is important to choose smooth paper with colored pencils because it makes it much easier to blend and it gives a much more realistic result. I would like to show you one more thing that I will be using in my video is the solvent. We will be using a solvent just to show you how to blend. It's like another way of blending colored pencils. So if you're all ready, we can start. Hi everyone, great to see you again in my channel. Today we will experiment on colored pencils. We have my set here, Faber-Castell, as I showed you before, and we will be working with these pencils. But today, probably you realized in my intro, there was something different. We have a planet theme, space theme. Why? First of all, I'm going to do a colored portrait of Mae Jemison in the next video, who is the first black woman who went to space as an astronaut. So I want to make a portrait of her. And second, I love space. I'm a nerd. What can we do? So today we are drawing planets because of these reasons, and colorful ones, you will see. Just not planets, also a star. Our lovely star, Sun. So before I start drawing my planets, I want to show you this. This is a colored chart. It is important to create your own chart before you start any colored pencil work. Why is this important? Because it allows you to see how the colors look on your certain type of paper. This is a vellum paper that I used here, but any type of paper would work. But my actual paper today I'm going to draw planets and the sun on is fine smooth surface from Bristol, as I showed in the beginning of this video. But again guys, this chart is really important, so don't forget to make it before you start so you can see how your colors look actually on paper. I'm ready. I am starting with the first rule. Hold your pencil lightly. Hold your pencils from far back so that you can color really lightly. You don't want to create streaks on your paper if you want realistic results. As you can see, I'm coloring really lightly here. It is also difficult to erase once you leave streaks like that. Rule number 2, the more layers, the better. Colored pencils require patience, guys. The more layers you put on top of each other, the more pigment you have, which will make your drawing look wonderful. Rule number 3, know how to blend. Well, here are many blending techniques for colored pencils, which I will explain in detail in a separate video. But here I used a solvent. I have Gamsol blend and the Zested blend, but you shouldn't apply too much because then your paper doesn't soak it up and then it looks really translucent. You don't want your liquid to show, you just want your colors to blend. Rule number 4, go from darker to lighter. You need to go from darker to lighter by just simply applying more to less pressure with your pencil. This from darker to lighter effect will give a realistic effect on your paintings, because then it's going to look like the shadow and the lighter parts. Rule 5, the more color, the better. Colored pencils are different than charcoal drawing. In order to catch the perfect tone, you might have to layer and blend many different colors, such as skin colors, for example. There are so many tones in your skin. That's why you need to know how to blend them. Just like in this video right now, what I'm doing is blending blue with purple very gently, very lightly, layer after layer, and I will add more colors right now. You will be able to see how to blend them. So as you see, the darker parts don't blend very well, but as you get lighter and lighter in the shade, it gets much more beautiful results because they blend much more beautifully. Rule number 6, don't damage the tooth. There's tooth in your paper, and the tooth of your paper is important one. If it's gone, the paint on it is really hard to edit. In order to have a good blend, you need to be, applying less pressure. You have to be pressing lightly, and you have to be patient. Right now I'm pressing really hard, as you can see, the brown, and now I'm pressing really hard the orange. Did they blend well? Nope. I can see very certain areas that actually overlapped, and they look really ugly. And orange and brown is really hard to blend anyways. But now what I'm going to show you is, if you don't apply that much pressure and don't hurt the tooth of the paper, you can see that you are easily you are able to put down more pigment easily by layer, going from darker to lighter, like that. This is my brown pencil, but then I'm gonna get my orange one from the other side, and I will show you how you can actually manage this without applying too much pressure on it. And you will see how beautifully they will blend in each other. And you will decide which one looks better, the new one that I'm drawing right now, or the one that I just draw before. Here we go, I'm coming. Here, it looks beautiful, isn't it? You cannot even tell where the orange started and finished and where the brown one is. So you have to keep doing this layer by layer to get a better result than applying too much pressure in the beginning. Well, rule number 7, circular motions, very important. Just draw with circular motions, guys, and make sure that you're not leaving streaks on your paper. But at the same time, you can apply in different directions with colored pencils, which is very good. Rule 8, know the different types of colored pencils. There are 2 different types of colored pencils, wax-based and oil-based. Faber-Castell polychromas are oil-based, but you can buy wax-based as well. They have different qualities. With oil pencils, you can have a lot of fine details. You can do animal hair with them much better. But with the wax one, I think portraits look great with the wax-based pencils. And now, rest of the planets I'm doing right now. Beautiful Neptune and Jupiter. You might realize that I forgot something. Just the reason that I didn't put Saturn there was just because the colors were the same, but in the line, if you're putting it's Saturn must be there. Rule 9, always go back and add more layers, because especially after you apply your solution or solvent, it is ready to be applied more layers. So because it gives out a richer and more realistic look when you apply more layers on top of that. But you have to make sure that your solvent has dried already, because if it's still wet, you won't be able to paint on that. Okay, it's all good. Now let's not throw away this drawing and make a craft out of it. Let me show you. So I have this string, and I'm cutting up all my planets first, and then with the thread and this sewing needle, I'm gonna go in each planet one by one, and I need 2 chopsticks. I'm basically tying those 2 chopsticks in a cross shape tightly, and then I'm going into those planets on the very top, just making a tiny hole, putting in the white thread right there. So what I'm gonna do in the end, all these planets, I'm gonna hang them on those chopsticks. You can color both sides, or you can just, you know, stick different planets on back to back by just gluing them. Let's see what the final result is when you tie all the planets to your chopsticks. This might be a great idea for your kid. I hope you like this little craft idea. I will see you in my next video, guys. I hope you like this. Don't forget to subscribe if you like my videos. Bye.